Hey guys, whether you're listening to us on SoundCloud or iTunes, thank you so much for checking out Crazy Love Stories.
Yes, thank you.
But if you're listening on an iPhone or an iPad or anything Apple, we have a special favor that we'd like to ask of you.
Give us a 5-star rating, please.
Please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a comment or write a review. That would really help us help you. And we want to continue helping you.
Help us help you.
Thanks.
Maybach music.
So in love with you to the end of time. Hedge of protection in between the line. Nothing better than us. People wish that everlasting love made me a Democrat. Unconditional, but you get it that. Count on me, I'll be there. Gifted rap from God to become one and bodies touch to the moon and sun.
Hey guys, this is Matthew.
And I'm Sasha, and you're listening to Crazy Love Stories.
In my therapy practice, I hear some crazy stories.
And as a journalist, I have to tell some of those stories.
We have a great show for you. We're going to be talking about commitment. How do you know when someone is ready to commit?
And I wasn't always a journalist, so let me tell you about some of my stops along the way. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Crazy Love Stories is a Simon Says Creative Works production. Our theme music is composed by Jordan J. River. Follow us on Twitter at Crazy Love Stories. That's LUV. For more dating and relationship advice, check out New Perspectives by Matt Phifer. Visit his website at newperspectivesdating.com. Do you remember what your first job was?
My first job on paper was Pizza Hut.
Wait a minute. On paper? What does that mean?
I count pizza as my first job because my actual first job, not a lot of people know about it, but I worked at Domino's Pizza. But I only worked there for a couple of weeks because I lied about my age on the application.
Wait, you tried to be, what, older?
I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. I was 14 years old.
Oh.
And I lied about my age, my birthday. Yeah.
You lied about your age so you could work.
I was a hustler. Yeah.
But you were trying to work a legit job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I knew I picked a winner.
I would still be there at Domino's today. What were you saying about picking a winner? If they did not let me go.
About that.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
My first job was AMC Theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It was that was actually the first time AMC Theaters came from America to Canada.
You're welcome.
Whatever. We got 2 theaters back in 98. Okay. Why I remember the year, I don't know, but I was 15 and I was super excited. I hadn't had a job before, and the fact that they had this big, massive hiring spree at the convention downtown, and
real quick,
I went.
Important. I don't mean to cut you off. Actually, I did. But anyway, did they have the reclining seats? That's all the audience really wants to know.
Yeah, they did have the reclining seats
back then in '98.
Yeah, AMC.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for Canada.
Oh, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. No, they didn't have the reclining seats. They had the love seats.
Oh.
That was the armrest went up, and then so your chair, your seat becomes a love seat.
So you haven't been to Studio Movie Grill in Dallas yet?
No.
Where it's literally dinner and a movie all in one. Like you're there, you got the nice luxury seats, and there's actually a waiter or waitress that comes around during the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you're going to have to check that out next time we go down there.
And they still keep it dark and stuff?
They keep it dark, but they have light shining on your food.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Studio Movie Grill.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to check that out.
Absolutely. So continue with your career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I was just saying that my time at AMC was actually pretty cool. I was excited. I was just like the most excited person to be there. They hired actually a really wide variety of ages, in that first set of staff. because again, they were brand new theaters coming, so they were just on a massive hiring spree. But I was one of the youngest. I was probably the youngest, being 15, but I was just super happy to be there.
Oh, okay.
And so every shift I would show up and just, great attitude and what have you. And I mean, I'm a long way away from there now, from AMC theaters, or from that part of life. But it's a time that I'm so proud of.
Well, how do you go from being this, I don't know, what would you call your position there?
Oh, I was a concessionist.
Okay.
That was my title.
How do you go from concessionist to journalist?
Ooh, yeah. I like that. From concessionist to journalist, a lot of growth.
Can I be honest with you about something?
Yeah.
Concessionist sounds more important than journalist.
Wow, that's rude.
It's not rude. I just think that...
All I did was put popcorn in a bag.
I think that if you and I walked into a bar and I said I was a concessionist and you said you were a journalist, more people would ask me about what I did for a living.
You might
sounds
be right.
interesting.
Yeah, you might
sounds
be right.
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said, no, I landed on journalism because that was my passion. That's what I knew that I wanted to do, and I bounced around. I worked in the service industry, retail, insurance, telecommunications. I did quite a few things. But I knew that my passion was in news. I knew that I wanted to report. I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to tell stories. I always told stories anyway, so I'm like, I want to do this. And people would always see me and come by my mom's house or just wherever and be like, oh, you should be on TV, you're so funny, So I knew I wanted to do something on television, and I married it with the fact that I was so passionate about keeping up with current events in the news, and it was just a perfect fit. Yeah.
Now, when you talk about being a journalist, and obviously you went to school for it, I know about your time at Ryerson. I know all the ups and downs with you having two little ones. But what was that? How did you know that you wanted to commit to journalism to the point where you spent 4 years in school and went through the good, went through the bad?
Because I knew that my calling was to help people through telling their stories, telling stories that they don't have the power to tell themselves. And it's funny because I remember in first year, I want to say even the first month of journalism school, I remember one of our teachers, Gary, was like, well, I know you guys aren't here for the money, so you better be passionate about it, because it's just kind of known that, in this industry, you're not always going to make, a lot of money. It's people aren't in journalism for the money. And newsflash, or breaking news, I should say, contrary to what a lot of people think, money is really not great to begin with. The people in this field really, truly love what they do.
Almost like a starving artist.
Yeah.
Starving artist mentality.
The arts, period. Yeah. It's just that's just how it is.
Struggling actor, starving artist. It was the same for me when I was a basketball coach. I coached college basketball, and I was very much a struggling artist, struggling movie actor. People who are in the beginning stages of their career. And it was, like you said, it was a lot of fun. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
But it also helped mold and shape me into the person I am today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about commitment when it comes to relationships?
I surveyed our little friends of the podcast. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Hey,
ladies.
I asked.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, my God. I asked what questions they had when it came to commitment. I got a number of responses, but at the very top of the list for almost everyone was, when I first meet a guy and we're vibing, everything's going well, whatever, how do I know? How can I tell that he wants to go for the long haul, that he's a guy that's willing to commit?
The way that you tell that a guy is willing to commit is that he commits. It sounds easy. Let me backtrack a little bit. When you're dating someone and you've been out with them a handful of times, and you're, let's say, 3 months max in, and you are ready to commit, and you have a conversation with him about committing, he commits. And you have to define exactly what it is that commitment means, whether it be because some people think that commitment means that you're committed to each other, but you are able to have an open relationship. Like, you have to define what commitment means to you.
Right, that's very key, because I can be thinking one thing and he could be on a completely different page.
Exactly. More than likely, you're going to be the one that brings up the relationship talk. There's a reason for that. Men are designed and built for purpose, drive, and mission. Women are built and designed for connecting, for bonding, for nurturing. So a guy, if you allow him to, he will stay non-committed for the rest of his life, because he is just out there and he's just doing his thing, whether it be focused on his career, focused on school, focused on picking up other women, or whatever he feels like his purpose, drive, and mission is. A woman will stay committed regardless of what that guy is doing if she doesn't make some sort of move or some sort of initiation towards that relationship. She needs to have a relationship talk.
So she needs to have that "what are we" conversation.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. However, the way that she has that conversation is very key, very vital. If she has that, if she's complaining, if she's being very naggy about it, you can forget it. If she's not being very direct and she's being very passive about it, she's not going to get the type of answers that she's looking for.
So I think that some women, if they do, you just talked about nagging, I think that some women, if they get to that point where they're, nagging and, kind of throwing ultimatums out there and wanting answers as to, what this setup has been, I think that that's also because they've invested a lot of time, which is probably not what they should be doing. So, I can think of people I know, acquaintances I know, who will date a guy for a year.
Oh my goodness!
And
when you get
and then try to have that conversation.
2-3 months max. Period. Point blank. Period. No exceptions. No if, ands, or buts. 2-3 months max. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the pretty. There's 7 billion people in this world. Half of them are guys. If one of them isn't ready to commit to you, trust me, there's another bus every 15 minutes, and you can pick up another guy. You can find somebody else. There's other people out there that are willing to commit. Great guys that are willing to commit. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your effort.
So in that 2 to 3 months, though, you should be seeing some signs in that 2 to 3 months. You can't just date someone for 2 to 3 months and then just come out of nowhere with that question. I would imagine that he should be putting forth behavior that makes you want to commit and makes you see that he wants to commit to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you are dating a guy and he is falling for you, and he's feeling you as well, he's going to respect your time. He's not going to call off dates. He's not going to show up late or nonchalant for your dates. He's going to appreciate your time. He's going to appreciate your effort. He's going to take you out on decent dates. I'm not saying he's going to spin the world on you, but he's going to treat you well. He's going to speak to you in a nice tone and a nice manner, and he's going to treat you the way that you feel like you should be treated. Now, the key here is that you have to carry yourself and you have to show up with a person of high value. And if you are showing up with a person of high value, he's going to feel like he's won a prize, and he's going to treat you like you're a person of high value as well. He's going to treat you like you're the woman of his dreams. As that happens, when you have this talk with him, he's going to appreciate it, and he's going to feel like you won a prize. It's not going to feel like you're pulling his teeth to get him to commit. He's going to just commit because he's going to feel like, man, I just found the woman of my dreams, and so therefore he's going to commit.
Of course, you mentioned the obvious, that women are more inclined to be the ones to bring up that conversation. Mm-hmm. Is it just rare for men to be just forthcoming and just want to sweep you off your feet from the start and just kind of go into that next phase of the relationship with you?
I don't think it's rare. I think men will bring it up. However, more than likely it's going to be a woman who brings it up because of the way that they're designed. Doesn't mean that it's not on the guy's mind. Doesn't mean that he's not thinking about it. Doesn't mean that he doesn't care about you. But more than likely, it's going to be the woman who brings it up.
Now, once the commitment is made, how soon should you get off the dating sites? So say it was an online relationship, or a person you met online. Is it you're immediately boot up, and so should you cut off everything else and any other guys that you were dating, any profiles that you still have up on the websites?
When you commit to a relationship, those type of things depend on what you and the person that you just committed to have defined as commitment. If you're looking for a monogamous relationship, then absolutely that needs to be defined when you have that conversation. If you're having an open relationship, then there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. However, that question more than likely came from someone who wants to be monogamous. And if you're committing and you want to be monogamous, then absolutely all that stuff needs to stop. You come off the dating sites. You treat each other the way that the other person is treated, that other person wants to be treated, and you go from there.
Another question I got, and I've been through this before too. When you have men, and I know ladies will feel me on this one, you have some men that will do all the relationship type stuff. So they'll take you here, they'll take you there, they'll introduce you to this cousin and the mom and the sister, and you're feeling like you're part of the family almost. And they're doing all these things, and then they still won't claim you. They still won't make it official. Why don't they just keep it 100, keep it real, say that things are going to be casual if things are going to be casual, instead of treating you like you're quote-unquote a wifey?
Some guys just, A, they don't know what they're doing. B, they want to have their cake and eat it too, and have kind of like a main squeeze, so to speak, and still not have the responsibility to, and won't own up to having the commitment and entering into an all-out relationship. But maybe you're the top of the food chain, so to speak, with the other women that he's seeing.
So they like you the most,
right,
but they're going to still dangle some other carrots, per se.
With that being said, what I tell people and the way I coach people is you do not meet friends, you don't meet family members until you're in a committed relationship. That goes for introducing, and it also goes for meeting. Women need to protect themselves, and guys shouldn't be doing that anyway, because you don't want to start breaking people's hearts, and you don't want to start getting other people invested, other people involved that don't need to be involved. Just save it for when you're committed. People, if someone cares about you, those people will already know about you before you bring them in, before they bring you in to be introduced anyway. So just save all that. See, there's no reason to develop extra feelings or lead yourself on because the guy you're dating is taking you around friends and family. Just wait. Just save that for when you're actually committed, so then you know that, hey, I'm here to stay, and everyone knows, everyone involved in that. The friends and family know, the guy knows, and you know that you're here to stay. You're going to be here for a while.
It's such a silly thing to do when you're not quite there yet with a girl. Like, why play with her heart like that? It drives me insane when I hear stories like that. And then they wonder why women are confused afterwards or left, emotional and hurt.
Well, some guys, and let me defend the guys for 1 second. Some guys do it because they've been hurt before in the past as well, and they want to seek approval from friends and family before they enter in that commitment stage. However, it's not the right approach. It's not the right approach for anyone involved. It's not even the right approach for the family and the friends, because you don't want them to get attached to someone, and then you bring so-and-so by after you and that other girl break up, and they're like, oh, I like the other one better. And it's just not fair to anyone. It's not fair to the girl, it's not fair to the guy, and it's also not fair to the family.
So in an actual true commitment, when that commitment goes sour, people tend to stay in that unhealthy situation. Happens a lot. Happens on the male side and the female side. Or, no one's budging. No one's willing to leave. Is there a point in time where you should just cut ties and just call it what it is?
Absolutely. When someone breaks up with you, you walk away and you never look back. Period.
That is so much easier said than
done.
Oh,
yeah, for sure. It is easier said than done. However, if someone tells you that they want to see other people, stop calling them, stop texting them. And the reason why this happens, where people just break up, get back together, break up, get back together, and start some sort of pattern, is because they haven't found anyone else that they like better than the person that they were dating. That's number one. Number two is that they don't value themselves enough to walk away. So think about in high school or any other time that someone considered themselves a high value. So captain of the football team, the head cheerleader or head gymnast or whatever the case is. If they were dumped by someone, do you think that they would stick around with that guy or that girl?
Probably not, because they have so many other replacements just
they have
standing
choices.
By. Yeah,
they have choices.
Yeah.
When someone stays with the same person and they're being dogged out, or a girl's treating the guy wrong, or the guy's treating the girl wrong, it's what I call a scarcity mindset. They feel like there's no one else out there. But in reality, there's a lot of people out there. There's, like I said before, there's another bus that comes around every 15 minutes. So you have to give someone else a chance and give someone else an opportunity. But the way that you do that is by making sure that you're available, by not keeping some scrub around. The
scarcity factor and feeling like there's no one else out there, sometimes it's your partner putting that in your head. That happens a lot too. Like, oh, please, where are you going? You're not going to find nobody that's going to want you like I do, or that's going to love you like I do, or that's going to take care of you like I do.
Which is the reason why you have to know it yourself. You have to know within yourself that you are a catch, that you are value. And maybe in the beginning you're not as much of a catch, but you certainly can develop into one. And if you're with someone that is putting you down like that, you deserve better than that anyway.
I do know a few guys that have a different problem when it comes to commitment. They seem to always land in the friend zone spot.
The dreaded friend zone.
Yeah, they seem to always, things will be going great with a girl, or so it seems on their end, and before you know it, they just end up in the friend zone. They end up being dogged. They end up being avoided. All of a sudden, she's not answering the calls, and she's dipping and dodging. Why do some men end up in the friend zone? Why does that even happen?
Because they're too nice. They're too available. They're too cute. They're just guys that women know that they can have at any point in time. They're too clingy. They have to present themselves as a guy who is all about his purpose, his drive, his mission, and that the woman is very much key and very much liked, very much loved. However, she can become a part of his purpose, but not all of his life.
Right.
If that makes sense. Because women, and both men and women, are afraid of losing their independence initially in the dating phase.
Right.
So
you don't want to show your cards too early.
I wouldn't say all that. I would, but you want to give your time in doses. And if you are a man who has a life, who has a purpose, who has a drive, who has a mission, whether it be that you started a business, maybe you're working yourself up the corporate ladder, maybe you are in school, and that should be your focus. That should be your focal point. And if you're texting a girl all day, all night, on the phone with her for hours in the evening, that's going to get old after a while. Women are very much like cats, and if you are women are like cats, and with cats, if they're able to play with like whatever toy it is, after a while they're like, get this thing out of my way.
Right.
I'm done with this thing, and they're not going to want to touch it again.
That is true.
Right? Women, it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And if you are texting, calling all day, every day, you're going to get friend zoned. Period. Point blank.
You're just way too available.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually a really valid point. So in conclusion, commitment is what everybody who wants to be in a relationship is striving for. Obviously, they want someone to call their own. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like, is it a marathon, not a sprint?
Yes, it's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. One thing you have to remember is that it's not all about you, but you is where it starts. Meaning that you have to be prepared for a relationship before you actually meet that person. And then also, while you're in that relationship, you also have to continue to work on yourself to maintain that relationship as well. The purpose of all relationships is to give. And if you're not prepared to give your time and your presence in a relationship, then you might as well just stay single.
Like the music you're hearing? Check out Jordan J. River on SoundCloud. Our cover art was designed by Kashta Media. Listen to Crazy Love Stories on SoundCloud and iTunes. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah. There's no other way to put it.
Nope.